Hey YouTube, it is Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com, coming at you again with another video, and we are really excited to bring you this new speaker system from FBT. This has been out a while. We have heard great things about it, but finally ended up bringing in a system of 4 tops and 4 of the double 8 subs. And let me tell you that this CLA604, and then it is the 208A subs that go with it. Holy Moses, this thing is absolutely amazing. The output of this thing is just like, for what it is, the size of it, of the columns, the size of the bass bins, the subwoofers. Once you start applying some signal to this thing, it just starts absolutely kicking butt. We're going to be doing another video in a venue that is close by, that we're going to go in and set the system up, one on each side, and run some tests through it and some audio, and maybe do some comparisons with some other speakers that are in our inventory that are similar to what this is, but not quite the same. Because this does employ some high frequency drivers up here, as well as you can see down in here the cone mid-range low frequency drivers in this cabinet. As far as the specs on this thing, we're going to get into that, but just to do an overall of it, we'll just kind of rotate the thing here that you can see it. It is a all metal housing, and as we flip it around, you can kind of see some of the mounting hardware, and then up here we'll get a zoom in on this, which is where the connections are done, and then the processing and the input sensitivity on the thing. But this thing weighs in, just without getting into the specs, I'm going to say probably 25 pounds for the top boxes. They snap together and deploy as a single column on the sub or the adapter. You can also get pole mount adapters for them and deploy them. We'll just continue spinning this around here. And so they've got pole mount adapters for them. Once you get into deploying them with a couple of subs, though, they make some spacers that you can put 1, 2, or 3 of these on a system along with 3 subs. I can tell you just from what we've experimented with in the shop here, with the 2 subs per side and the 2 tops per side, the thing stands a little over 8 feet tall, but the output out of this thing is amazing. For doing corporate events, for doing weddings, this also comes in white too for weddings, which is like really sexy. But for doing those type of events where the speakers are just kind of hidden, that everybody's wondering where all this audio is coming from, or whether you're a DJ, whether it's a corporate event, or whether it's a band on a stage, or something in, you know, a coffee house or something. These things, the audio output and quality out of this system, I'm just, you know, blown away with. So FBT with this CLA system has just, for the portability of it and everything, has just got a real winner on their hands. So what we're going to do is get into the specs on this real quick, and then we'll get in and take this top box apart and show you what's so magical about it, and then we'll end up opening up the bass bin low frequency subwoofer box with the dual 8s in it, and take a look at that, and then also show you the short adapter that we have that we ended up bringing in along with this to complete the package. And again, FBT CLA system, absolutely amazing. So the specs on this system, we'll talk about the CLA604A first. It's a 2A box. It does have 400 watts going to the low frequency drivers, and then 100 watts going to this high frequency section up top. That is RMS power. This top box goes from 130 to 20,000 cycles. It is 6 drivers, 4-inch voice coils, and then it's got 4 of the 1-inch drivers that we'll see once we get this open. As far as max SPL, you're looking at 122 dB continuous max SPL. The dispersion on this thing is 100 degrees wide this way by 20 this way, so you get two of them and you've got about a 40-degree pattern on the thing. 450 watts. It's got XLR ins, XLR outs, which we'll show you. It's got power con in, power con out, so they've dumped the IEC cords on this thing. As far as weight is concerned, it's about 20 pounds, according to the specs. And then as far as the height of it, we're looking at about 33 inches, I think is what this is, because they give everything in millimeters and centimeters as well. But that is the 604. The 208, CLA208, which is the dual 8 that goes with this, 208SA. 600 watts RMS, does go from 50 to 150. It has two 8-inch drivers in it with 2-inch voice coils, 125 dB max SPL. Let's see, XLR ins and outs. It's also a nice thing about this, though, it's got a link on it that you can just link it up to the next box, and then also has a high-pass filter on it that comes out of the back of the subwoofer that you can end up sending it up to the top boxes. That's got a built-in crossover on the thing as well, which is really pretty cool. As far as weight is concerned, out of the box, 44 pounds, so it's fairly light. And then they've got a series of covers and things for these that you can put over the subs and put over these top boxes to protect them for transport and storage and things like that. But they link together really tight, very solid, which we'll show you in a second of how all that works. But amazing. The instructions are very good. They tell you how to set things up. They give you examples of the systems in here, and then also the power requirements that you're going to need for the number of cabinets you're going to deploy and how many of them you can end up getting on a circuit for power. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get this thing opened up and, excuse me, get this thing opened up and take a look on what these drivers are all about, and also the construction of this box. Being that it is all metal, and you can kind of hear it, that it doesn't resonate, it doesn't sound like it's hollow at all. So it'd be interesting to see what they've got in there when we open this up. So here we go. Well, that was interesting, but we got it open. As you can see, the lower drivers here and then the high frequency drivers up here. Getting the grill off is a little bit of a challenge, but it can be done. Grill construction, probably 18 gauge, really pretty solid. The way it fits in here into the box and slides in, it's just very tight. It's never going to come out. So, and it protects the speakers quite well, that once it's in there, there's a very good solid connection that it keeps the rigidity of the grill to the speaker box. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and pull some more screws out and open this up, pull this sub-assembly off that has all the speakers on it, and get into this FBT CLA604A. Okay, so we've got the back plane out and the front plane here with the speakers in it. As you can see, this is probably one of the most involved disassemblies that I've ever done. They put this thing together with surgical precision, that getting this thing apart has been quite the challenge. So, but I did it. So, what do they say? Feeling proud. But here are, go ahead and pull one of these drivers out, but here are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're on 2 different amplifiers with the 2 different colors of cord here, and then they've got the little cord for the high frequency drivers kind of hanging out here as well. But they are all mounted on a about a 3/8 inch piece of multi-ply, and they are all on thread certs, so if the drivers ever need to be replaced, as you can see here, that you can end up taking the screws out, little front view here, taking the screws out here and replacing a driver and not worrying about stripping this wood on the assembly. We haven't put all the screws back in yet because we're probably going to have to leave the drivers out to slide this thing back into the enclosure. So we'll lay that down. This is the high frequency assembly here, and it is a molded horn, and you can see all of the little high frequency drivers here on the back of the unit, and they do produce quite the output. They are, looks like they're all Mylar dome, as you can see here inside that assembly, but just absolutely amazing sound quality out of this thing, and the way that these drivers all couple together, quite nice. Produces a very nice, almost like a hi-fi type sound, without having to really say hi-fi, but yeah, I think you know what I mean. So that's the horn assembly, and then we'll move this out of the way and get into the case. This is a extruded aluminum case, and they've done a really nice job with it, with the way that this is all set up. You can see that they've got down here power in and XLR, and then they've got power con out on this end and XLR out that feeds through on this cable here. And then this is the SMPS power supply that is down through the center here, and then this is the amplifier assembly that they have done, and it's all just mounted on the back of it. It uses the amplifier with the semiconductors, uses the back of this as a heat sink, and then they've also got it isolated on some foam with the little standoffs that they've got it mounted in as well. But when this thing is together, you can hear the metal of it now, but when this thing is together, you don't hear any of that kind of echoey or you know, hollow sound to it whatsoever. On the input side of things, if you look down that end of it there, it's got the power con and the XLR in, and then we flip the thing around, and we've got power con out and XLR out as well. On the back of the unit, there's really not much to it. What we've got here, and we'll just slide this thing down, but as you can see, we've got a input gain setting. We do have a liner mic source. We do have high pass filter on it as well, and then there are a couple of preset settings as far as how many tops that this is, as far as the satellites is concerned, of how many that the system is going to be deployed with, and you set those and you are off and running. But the thing is very well engineered. Got fuzz on this here. With the way that this thing has gone together and the modularity of it, should there ever be a problem? Probably not. With the way that they have assembled this, I can guarantee you they don't anticipate any issues or problems whatsoever. But should there be, everything's modular, so it's just a piece out, piece in, and get it back to you and you're up and running. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing buttoned back up, but that's the inside of the FBT 604 CLA speaker. Again, there's the inside of it. Nothing really sexy, but the dang thing works, and it works very well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one driver off for these little low frequency acoustic suspension drivers, and we'll show you that real quick, and then we'll get this thing buttoned up and get into the 888 bass bin and show you that. So we've got one of the 4-inch transducers pulled, and ceramic magnet. It is a stamped frame, little acoustic suspension driver. It is a 16 ohm driver, so they couple all these together and end up feeding it that it's, you know, about 6 ohms load to the amplifier. But very nice little speaker. Amazing that they can get the amount of sound out of these little guys when they're all coupled together that they do. One of the nice things that I wanted to kind of bring to your attention is the base plate assemblies that they have with these locking screws. So what these things do when they lock together, and they've got a little rubber foot on them that helps really tighten the things up, and then they also have the ability, and we'll show you here in a second, that they can rotate when they're on top of each other. But these guys just go in and slide in, and then once the speakers lock in, they end up mounting and doing a really nice job of locking together. And then there's a pin assembly that goes here and locks that in. The nice thing about this though is that, as you can see here with the whole assembly, you can rotate this thing off. I believe it's 15 degrees on each side of the speaker, so that you can set the bottom box straight up and down, and if you needed to, you can end up splaying the top box out a few degrees or in a few degrees to get coverage, which is an excellent idea, rather than have everything face forward, that you can kind of cover your audience down front with something straight out and maybe do some side filling, or if your audience is wider, like in a corporate event or something, you can turn it to the side and get some really nice coverage with these boxes with these special plates on them. So very ingenious idea, and with the rubber that they've got on them, they just lock together and provide a really nice firm fit for the column line arrays. So we're going to go ahead and get things back together. On the back of the assembly, which I pulled off, there is the brackets here that you can see that these things will slide over the subs. Or they can end up, I think there's some wall mount brackets that these things slide over as well. And then, like we said earlier, there is a pole mount, speaker pole mount bracket that you can position these on as well. And just a lot of versatility to them as far as deployment. You don't have to use them with the subwoofer, so you can use them for a corporate event or a meeting room where you've got a bunch of people in, and you can set one up. Either plug a microphone directly into it or a small mixer. It's got the mic line capabilities on it. So very, very versatile and slim, that you can go in and it's not this big ugly speaker. And especially good for corporate or business events as well. So that's it, the CLA604 from FBT, and we're going to get right into the 208 subwoofer. So here is the horn assembly prior to getting mounted back in the enclosure, but all of the drivers are just in a series parallel configuration, negative down this side, positive down that side, and then there's just a wiring harness that goes back in and plugs in on the board, and everything runs that way. This guy just slips down in here and mounts to the 3/8 plywood inside the enclosure, and then everything gets screwed back in physically into the enclosure, but just with putting the wooden back plate in it, as you can see here, that it's really, you can hear just the difference it's made in tapping the enclosure, of how solid of the construction this thing is with this extruded aluminum enclosure on the CLA. Okay, before we get into the subwoofer here, I wanted to also mention about the spacers that they have for this system. They've got this one that will clamp onto the front of 2 subs and space the column up above the top of the subs, and then they've got one that will clamp on to 3 subs and get the columns up on, way up on top of the 3 subs. But the thing that's nice about this is that onto the front of the assembly, and then this top part up here would latch onto the upper sub, but it locks everything on, and then the speakers lock onto that and provides a nice platform to build this whole CLA system off of. So really good idea, and it's just blank, it's a dummy, but all the same type of construction, and you can just see on the back here the locking plates, and the speakers have those as well on them, but they just lock on, and if you're sitting it on the floor, the thing provides a really nice solid mount. So options and accessories for the system. So we've already gone over the specs of the sub. This is it, the 2 8-inch drivers, and as we spin this thing, it's got a couple of handles on the sides, as you can see there. It is wood construction. It has a M20 socket in the top of it there for pole mounting. And then here's the back of it that has all the connections on it, power con in, power con out, input, DSP settings on it, and then there is the inputs, there is links, and then there is high pass filter outputs on it as well, so that it'll end up doing it, all of the crossover and everything on it, all by itself. So just settings to set the crossover for just a more full range, or what they call punch. But I can tell you that the punch works very, very well with these guys. So we're going to go ahead and get this pulled apart and take a look at the inside of this, the Vertus CLA208, and get this opened up. So there we've got the grill off, and you can see the drivers exposed. Again, probably 18 gauge steel, and then the little mounts for that hold everything on, these bolts that clip the assembly on, go right in the front there and provide a really solid mount to the front of this for that spacer, or for some of the speakers. So but there's the two little 8-inch drivers. It kind of looks like a bug, but it is ported, vented, and like I said, handles on the side. And so solid wood construction, M20 threaded adapter on the top. We're going to go ahead and get some drivers pulled and see what's inside this thing, and see what those drivers look like, and what makes this thing so awesome for a subwoofer that's got two 8-inch drivers in it. Well, boys and girls, here is the entire reason why this cabinet sounds the way it does. Nice large ceramic magnets on these. They are 4-ohm drivers. They are wired in series, so they're presenting an 8-ohm load to the amplifier. Not long excursion though, but very tight. That's why it's so punchy that it is. But I think this has a 2 or a 2.5-inch voice coil on this speaker. Stamped basket, and but the magnet assembly on this thing is just absolutely phenomenal, which gives it the acoustical properties and the punchiness, and probably with the voice coil size it is, the power handling that this thing can do. So there's 2 of those in that cabinet. Those guys weigh about 6-7 pounds a piece. One of the things now that I want to show you is inside here. What they've done is they have, and you can beat on this thing and you're not hearing any resonance in it, but leads are coming out of the amplifier, but they have taken this foam, kind of egg crate foam on the inside of this thing, and have coated it on the back, the bottom, the top, and the sides, so that there is none to little resonance out of that box. So as you can see, as we turn it here, you can see the foam in the back. Kind of turn it up there and down the sides and everything. And then also just the construction of it with the porting, the vents and everything on it that they have. But very good solid construction with the speakers out. And still the amplifier on it. Still probably close to 20 pounds. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't get the amplifier pulled out and show you what that looks like. And as we found with the column line array, what they're able to do these days with the switch mode power supplies and the electronics, power amplifiers with the wattage that they're getting out of these things are just getting smaller and smaller, and not developing as great of a heat load as you would imagine in days past. But there is no fans on this, at least it doesn't appear. It looks like it's all convection cooled. We'll get into it and find out here in a moment. But that is the CLA208 Dual 8 subwoofer from FBT. Okay, so we've got the amplifier assembly pulled. No fans, all convection cooled. As you can see down this side, we have got the SMPS power supply. And that is up on just standoff brackets off the aluminum heatsink. And then on this side, we have got the processing on here, and then also up at this top corner up here, we've got the power amplifier. And then also with the DSP is down there on the other end, where all of the input and output connectors are, and the volume control. You really can't see too well up inside there. This whole amplifier assembly, circuit board and everything, less than 5 pounds. So gosh, it's just super duper light. So everything is on. Again, it's all modular, so should something ever happen, it's just a matter of replacing components or just replacing the whole amplifier and popping it back in the cabinet and off you go. Same with the speaker drivers. So should there ever be an issue with anything, very quick to get you back up and running. As I've said in some of our other videos, that we've even done some troubleshooting over the telephone, and we'll get the various manufacturers to just shoot out parts. Shoot out a new assembly board, you shoot the other one back to us or back to them, and they shoot it back. Same thing with drivers, as long as we're all under warranty. Do not forget to register your product for warranty. So very, very important. Whether you buy it from us, which we hope you do, or buy it from somebody else, take care and do the warranty thing. It'll save you a lot of heartache coming out the other end. So that is the 208 subwoofer cabinet assembly. It does have some rubber feet on the bottom, as you can see there. And we are going to be doing another video, again, like I said earlier, with this setup and operating at a local venue. We may end up doing some outdoor stuff with it as well, in a stereo configuration out in the parking lot. But first impressions with this thing, it's going to be absolutely amazing, especially like for corporate work and things. Somebody wants to rent a small little powerful sound system that has just got fantastic coverage, really low sight lines, can put it on each side of the stage and not detract away from the corporate or pro environment. This system will just kill everybody. They'll just wonder where all the wonderful sound's coming from. DJ applications, small wedding applications, you do it in the white, really look really sexy. So there you have it. FBT, we're going to be doing some more FBT videos. They've got a full range of product. As you can see, they've got line arrays, they've got trap boxes, they've got some of the injection molded boxes, active. They do have passive as well. So just kind of depending on what your fancy is, so to speak, of whether you go active or passive. They've got pretty much everything to meet it. They've got some new subwoofers, and I am sure, as we are doing this video prior to the Winter NAMM 2016, they are going to have some new product at the NAMM show, which we'll hopefully have a video for as well. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by the YouTube channel. Thank you to all of our faithful subscribers. We're over 4,500 subscribers now on the channel, and over 2.5 million channel views. So again, thank you for watching. I hope some of this helps in your decisions in purchasing speakers, whether it is the FBT or some of the other lines that we carry. If you have any questions, email us. There's a link to a email. It's info@trinityprosound.com, or you can give us a call, 209-832-8023. If you're in Northern California, man, swing on by. We'd love to meet you and can demo what we have in stock, whether it's FBT or some of the other manufacturers. We are dealers for FBT and about 45 other pro audio lines. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Trinity Productions, TrinityProSound.com.